Welcome to the workshop. We've got an Elna 3007 in today. I'm not sure the age of this machine. Probably a few years old. It's come in for a service. I'll just run it up a little bit. Put it onto wide zigzag and it was hitting the foot, so whoever used it had the wrong foot on. It's too narrow. The slot there for the wide zigzag. So I'll put the new foot on just so we can try it. But it seems to be running nicely. Everything seems to be working okay. The reverse isn't working very well. Need a bit of lubrication on that. That's the normal problem with these, this reverse stitch. So we'll strip it down first. First thing to do on these, take the needle plate off. Just one screw on these, lift the plate off. I've got a little bit of damage on this plate here, some little burrs. What I normally do with these is just file them down. A little file. Just a matter of getting the burrs off the top of this plate, because as the thread goes through the plate and round the hook and back up again, if it catches on these, at worst it can break the thread. It's very frustrating, or it'll catch and just adjust the tensions, you'll end up with loops, probably on top if it's catching the top thread. Quite a bit of damage to this, so take a bit of filing. That's pretty much it. These are very expensive, these plates from Elna. I haven't priced one up, but you're probably talking about £30 for this plate. Well, if we can file it, it costs nothing, does it? Okay, take the bobbin out and the bobbin case. Check the bobbin case for damage. Any little burrs, which has got one there. Again, just run the file around it. I don't want to take too much out of these cases because they need to be quite snug on the hook. But any little snags can catch the thread. Oh, this is pretty nice, this one. A little bit of dirt underneath, which will scrape away. That's all good. Next thing to do on this is to remove the top cover. This is done by releasing a couple of screws. One top on the side, one in the middle. You normally have to just loosen off the hinge. It's just a couple of screws here, this one here and this one here, just to enable this to come away. Like so. And then we can remove all this. Just going to turn it around so I can get to it. Take this thread off, pop that back later. Just want to pull this up nice and gentle. All the way, and it just comes away like so. Pop that out of the way, and now we can get into the top of the machine. There's not a lot of moving parts on these. You've got your cam gears here, the main shaft. This here is your left and right. So it going left and right for zigzag. That's there is your bobbin winder. Push that across, it disengages the main shaft. Little clutch on there, automatic clutch, which is good. So that's that apart. Next thing to do is take apart the base. So you've got a fair few screws here. That one there's got a little flange on it. There's two large screws which hold this leg onto the main frame. Take that one off there. These two at the side, which take the side cover off. Just whiz all these screws off, and a couple here. Another one there. Just take the bottom off. And then this one here, we've got another screw deep down here. And another one just here. That should all come off now. This bit here, this plastic bit, just have to unclip it. And we'll use a little hook tool to get that back on later. There's not too much workings on these machines. This is your main assembly here. There's an oiling pad there, absolutely bone dry. And this is your reverse thing. I don't know if you can see that, but when I push it, this mechanism here should shoot across, but it's very slow. You can see it's just moves sluggishly. That's the main problem with these, which is your reverse mechanism. So what we do on the shaft there where it runs, we're just going to run some oil and we keep pushing it, working it back and forwards until that starts to ping across a bit faster. They never whiz across really quick. So I'm going to get some oil onto the shaft it runs on. This is the main fault on these Elnas. It's just this mechanism here. But once we've worked some oil into it, maybe a splash of WD just to free it off. Not too much. Just there. That'll free it up if I just keep. Sometimes you have to be really patient with these machines. You have to just keep moving this back and forwards for a few minutes. Because if you don't get it in right, you can guarantee that in a couple of weeks' time you go to reverse and it's stuck again. You've got to make sure you get the lubrication right into it. And see now it's just pinging across straight away rather than gradually going back. That's a good sign. If I run the machine, I still like it to go across a little bit more, a little bit faster still. I'll keep working the oil in. This is the only problem you get with these machines really, is this reverse mechanism. It's just a matter of keep it working. You can actually feel the stickiness of it when it goes across. It's sticking slightly before it goes back. You can see what I'm doing here. Yeah. that's it. So it goes across. It doesn't actually finally engage until the machine's running, and then it picks up the little cam follower there and just clocks into place. I often say don't over oil machines, but this just needs quite a bit in that place just to get it worked in. Don't want any stickiness. If it gets sticky, keep working it into that shaft. Can't rush it, you just got to work it in. I tend to do this to work it in, then I service the rest of the machine and I come back to that. And that's the last thing I check before I put the covers back on. But that's still working nicely. It's feeling good. Still going across a little slow. I'd like it to go faster than that. It's all down to this spring really. This is the spring that moves it. Okay. When they're really stuck, you push this button down and nothing happens, it just stays still. But this one has always moved, but quite slowly, so it's halfway between seized and free. Yeah, it's pretty free. You can see it's going straight across now. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute. That's all the rest of the machine. So I'm going to run the machine, I'm going to watch everything working, make sure I get the oil in, everything that moves. This little cam here goes across to drop the feed dog down. So obviously want that to be free as well. And then we'll get lots of oil onto this oiling pad here, so that'll keep it nicely lubricated as the customer uses it. It should be nice and wet. It won't actually go anywhere apart from onto the main shaft as the machine's used. I'll just drip feed it. Another bit here, and that will run into where the hook rotates. A bit there. Get a compressor. With a blow, and then we're going to select up here, we're going to select a stretch stitch, which is there, and that way you should be able to see this feed dog direction thing move here with every third stitch. Get some oil into that. Make sure it's oiled, not too much. Head in the way. Some on the main shaft there. There's nothing behind this. This is the main electronic control panel. All you've got underneath here is you've got the shaft going there and ending up there, which I can get to oil. So you don't need to take all this off. You do if it's got an electronic fault. It's running nicely. Grubby job. Just going to blow this out here. And again, I'll run the machine and watch everything working. Drop of oil, not too much near the bobbin winder because you don't want it to get it on the rubber. Okay, I'm just trying to get some on the needle bar now. Not too much. This machine stops in awkward places. So I get it from this end. Another one there. Another one there. Get through to the needle bar. And then this bit here is your presser foot. Little drop there. Not too much. Don't want to get on the fabric. No ironing pads on this shaft at the top, which would be nice to have. Just going to whiz off this. Screwdriver. Take this plate off here. Take the side plate off. This just pulls off. I don't think there's anything there to. I could actually just loosen off this top screw here. Let me take this out a little bit. Take this off from the bottom, and then we've got the belts here, so we can just check the belts are tensioned okay, which they are. And then we'll run it up and get some oil into these. Across there for the pattern selector. We pull this all the way across that way. Put some oil on this shaft here, and then take it back the other way. Drop more there. Keep that nice and smooth. Not a lot else to do in there. All these moving parts. With any machine, you just got to watch which parts move, what's rubbing against what, and just work the oil into it. Not too much, as I always say. That's run nicely. Nice machine. Right, pop this back on. Just have to make sure with these, this top lip here sits over this metal when you put the side on that one. Put a screw in the side. On there. The oil on those. Push that back in. That's good. I'm just going to check the tension in this bobbin case now before I put the plate back on. Quite tight. I'm just going to loosen that off a fraction. That's better. Right, so that's that. I'm just going to pop this plate back on now. Check I've got all the fluff out of the teeth, which I have. Just sits on nicely. Pick that up, that's good. Right. What we do now then, tighten up this screw up here before I forget. That's it. Tip it on its back and just double check this is still working, which it is. So reverse is kicking in. I still think it's a little bit tighter than I'd like, so I'm just going to spray some WD into this finger here. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to achieve, but I'm just trying to get this so it's not, doesn't feel gooey or sticky. It still is a little bit. It will just suddenly go and it'll be okay. Shut that door, lots of noise outside today. This feels better now. That last bit of WD did the job. And just get a bit of towel in. Just going to soak up some of this so we don't get it anywhere near our fabric. Always worried about getting oil on people's sewing. Can't avoid it sometimes, we've got to put so much lubrication in. Yeah, it's nice and free now. Happy with that. Okay, so that drops on there. A couple of these screws here, which is these two. there. What I'm going to check now is that the feed drop mechanism's working. There's a little switch under here which drops the feet down. Bring that across, back, and that brings the feet back up nicely above the plate to move the fabric. So that's working. Get the base back on now. Now what we need is a little hook tool, which is that one there, 90-degree hook. And what you've got to do is get this plastic through this slot here. So you need something like this just to pull that plastic forward. And once it's through there, you can take the hook away. Just like that. And that's it. Put these little flange screws back on. 3 of those. Just do them loosely. And this one goes in there, I think. No, it doesn't. Must be that one there. And you've got 2 big ones. Go there. Another big one there. And then what I'll do now is get these 2 here, which are the inset ones. One there. Get them nice and tight. This one here goes nice and deep. So, one final one on there. And then we can just nip these up the electric driver. So that is your speed control, so keep your foot the same, slows it down, speeds it up. This is your stitch length and this is your stitch width, so you can see the needle moves back and forwards. Next job is to get all this back in. Important to get this hole here for the handle onto the right bracket there. Just get to work that in so it all sits nicely. Shouldn't have to force anything here. Once it's in place, you can do these side screws up, which holds the handle in place. There and there. And we can tighten these 2 screws up that hold this tool tray down. Set the lid shuts flush. Handle works. Nice. Nice easy machine to strip down these. That's your pressure gauge, sits on top there. All good. Just make sure we've got the rough out the tension unit. Use a little needle as well, just to check that's clear, which it is. That's pretty much it service. All we need to do now is wind a bobbin on it. So the bobbin's winding. I'll use my thread because it's nice and easier to see if it's white. Simple case of underneath there. Just wind that onto there. Okay, push the bobbin winder across. I'm not going to just guide this because it's quite a big wheel. I'm going to take it around, give it a bit of tension. That's it. I'm just helping it to wind evenly, purely because this thread that I'm using, the actual bobbin's quite big, the spool, and it's keeping the thread up in the air, so it's just winding the top. That's why I helped it along, but it's nice and even. Just cut off of there, got this down. Adjust the tension slightly. I've loosened it a little bit too much. That's it. I must put a new needle in. The needle's bent on this, I can see it's bent. We went hit the foot before the foot was changed. Right, the thread's bobbing up now. Now we've thread the machine. Come through the tension, back round and under. Underneath. And then we see if the needle thread is working. Very rare they work. Take that down there. Pull there. Yep, it actually works, so that's good. Feeling quite tight on there. Down and up, pull the bottom thread up, and we're ready to sew. To pop this little cover on so we don't get anything caught. Some fabric. Okay, so first thing we'll try, we'll put it on straight stitch, and we'll bring that's in the middle. We'll do a half, sort of 3 mil. Do the same. We'll test the reverse. That's working, look. That's good. The stitches, I'm just going to increase the tension slightly underneath because the top tension's a little bit loose. The top stitch is a little bit not laying flat enough to make it a nice separate stitch. So I'll tighten that up a little bit underneath. And now it actually looks like an individual stitch. So I'm happy with that tension. So what we do now, we do a zigzag and then run it a little bit longer. Check the reverse again. Now, reverse is good. Do a little bit of a smaller zigzag, shorter stitch. That is a nice zigzag. I now have the tensions set perfectly. We'll give it something a little bit more complicated to do. Such a quiet machine, it runs lovely. Reverse is working perfectly. Nice simple machine these. Just going to try some stretch stitches. Get it back on there. A nice short stitch. Let's try to check the buttonhole's working. That's good. I think we need a wider one, so we have to come off the buttonhole and back onto it again. Bring it over here. It's all good. Buttonhole's working nicely. It's not the best buttonhole in the world, but I'm not the best sewer in the world, but it's not the machine's fault. Okay, so a nice straight stitch, individual stitches, zigzag both sides is the same, nice satin stitches, stretch stitches working fine, and even did a decent buttonhole considering I didn't have a buttonhole foot on there. So that is a very nice machine. Sewing perfectly, reversing perfectly, which it wasn't before. It was all sticky. Customer's thread back on the machine, so she can obviously use it again. All it needs from me now is clean up all my mucky paws off it and put one of my stickers on it give the customer a ring, let them know it's ready. Hope you've enjoyed it. It was quite a quick one, this one, because it's not a very complicated machine. If you've got any questions, let me know. I'll try and answer them. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please like if you liked it. I'll try and get a few more videos, but I'll be quite busy at the moment, so it's just hard to video them all and edit them. They're starting to back up a little bit. I've got some more on the shelf over there I've got to do. But yeah, keep on watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.